I worked for FedEx for in between 25 and 30 years. And when early retirement was proposed to me, I jumped all over it because my wife and I, we've had a lifelong dream of being able to through hike the entire length of the Pacific Crest Trail, which is 2,666.2 miles. But it's been a lifetime goal for us, and my wife and I have always had very good health, and so when this opportunity came up, we really looked forward to it. Unfortunately, I was having respiratory problems, problems of fatigue, and that's kind of where I started getting my first hints that maybe I wasn't doing too good. At that time, a friend had mentioned some things about the Salem Free Clinic, and so I called them up. I had no idea I was sick, so I just simply said I was looking for a checkup.
Mark was the last patient on a fairly busy day there, and I'm not sure if he truly wanted to be there or if his wife made him. I don't recall. But he came in, and I recall him looking rather pale. He was not necessarily wanting to have any medical care, but was certainly frustrated with how he'd been feeling. Mark was really, really pale and described something that might make me think of heart problems. And so the more I talked to him, the more I was convinced that he really needed some help. As it turns out, we did have an EKG machine there.
Dr. Stageman hooked me up to to this machine and took a reading, and immediately he says, "You've already had one heart attack." He says, and there's also some other abnormalities on the reading that are very troubling to me. And my jaw hit the ground.
I was worried that he might get around to actually going to the emergency department when it suited him.
He says, to be honest with you, you need to go to the ER room right now because you're in critical condition.
And so I wanted to make sure that he made it. And I was also concerned about his safety with driving.
So Dr. Stageman asked me if I had a ride to the ER, and I told him that, I am here by myself, but I can drive myself to the emergency room. He says, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to let you do that because I believe you're in that critical condition."
It was the end of the day. I was happy to drive him to the hospital.
When we arrived at the ER, he told me just wait in the car. The next thing I know, I'm admitted to the hospital, and I'm in the IMCU, which is the Intermediate Care Unit. It turned out that I had the one heart attack sometime in the past, I don't know exactly when, and I had another heart attack while I was in the hospital, and then I was informed that I had a blood clot in my heart, and at the bottom part of my heart was dead. How often have you had a doctor take you a ride to ER himself? Never. I mean, it was definitely a God thing, Well, I had a heart attack while I was in the hospital, so where would I have been when I had the second heart attack? That's the major question I asked myself, almost on a daily basis. So it's quite possibly I could not be sitting here in this chair talking to you, or even on this earth anymore.
I think if it wasn't for the clinic, Mark's anemia probably would have resulted in heart damage, and he probably would have died.
That was the last time I saw Dr. Stageman, and I really, I had this strong desire that I needed to tell him thank you for what he had done for me, because that was certainly going out of his way to help another person out.
The Salem Free Clinic is a fantastic opportunity for the community of Salem and the physicians and medical professionals of Salem to show how they care for people.
I'm truly blessed for the experience I had there, and I thank them very much for that.